everyone, it's Alex from Alex's English class. Today I'm going to introduce you a book called The Nocturnals, The Mysterious Abductions by Tracey Hecht. The red fox, Dawn, the sugar glider, Bismark, and Tobin, the pangolin, met and became friends and formed the Nocturnal Brigade. But one night they heard a scream and went to where that scream came from and met a wombat named Cora. Cora's brother Joe was missing. When they were chewing on some roots, they heard footsteps, so they ran towards the river and went inside the river. And they thought they were safe, so Cora looked back to see at Joe, but Joe was gone. So to find Joe, they went on with Cora and met some bats. The bats said that animals were disappearing. This told the brigade and Cora that Joe was one victim in many. So they went on with the bats and met two kiwis. Their names were Bert and Becca. Their cousin Bailey was at the Patterson's pond to eat the worms, which is near the coyote's den, but disappeared. So the brigade and Cora and the bats decided to go to the coyote den, but to go to Patterson's pond, they had to cross the river. But strangely enough, there were sea cucumbers in fresh water. Sea cucumbers were saltwater creatures and should not be in fresh water. So that meant that salt water had came into the fresh water. But then John came up with a very good idea. It was by putting algae in front of the sea cucumbers and putting their legs onto the sea cucumbers, making the sea cucumbers go forward. So they crossed the river and was just going to go inside the coyote den and met a jerboa named Jerry. So they went on with Jerry and went inside the coyote den and met Cairo, the leader of the coyotes in the eastern region. But the Cairo told them to come back tomorrow to Dawn. So Dawn went tomorrow. But while the brigade and Cora and the bats were waiting, Jerry escaped. So when Dawn came back and told them about the alliance, he was already gone. So they met up the alliance, and Cairo and Ajax and Julian came and told them that one of their coyotes were also gone. And as they knew, a possum, a raccoon, a wombat, a honey badger, a mink, a tarantula, and 12 kiwis were gone. But then they found out a similarity. It was that the jerboa Jerry was at every scene. So to find Jerry, they went into different sections around the den, and then they went to Tobin. But his scales were all actually had a scratch and everything. So they asked Tobin what happened and said Bismark was taken. And Tobin said that they looked like crocodiles, but that made sense actually. It was because if the crocodiles came, they are saltwater creatures, so they can bring up the salt water to the fresh water. And that can be the reason why salt water was inside fresh waters. So to go to the sea and find those crocodiles, they went to the river but saw a tornado-like thing, which meant that the water was going into the legend-known tunnels. But then the bats said they were real and knew one of the entrances. So they went into one of the entrances and went into the tunnel and saw the crocodiles and the taken Nocturnals. But the head coach of this game they were playing, where you have to use the kiwi's beak to put in the tarantulas in the goal. And he was the coach. His name was Boris, and he was a crocodile, and there were other crocodile players. But when they saw that the brigade and the bats and Cora all came inside there, and also the coyotes that came in here, they put them inside 2 rocks and trapped them. However, Jackson Julian was still out. But while inside, they heard Jerry's story. Jerry said that Boris had taken all of the Jerboa family and said that they were the part of actually cleaning the place for the game they were doing. But to find the players, Jerry had went to every Nocturnal and made the crocodiles come and take them. And then Jerry went to Jackson Julian, and it took a lot of persuading, but they opened the boulders, and Don told Boris to have 1 round of this game. However, it was a tie, so they had to do a shootout. And in the shootout, the Nocturnals won. However, Boris said he would never let the Nocturnals go because he had to go to the coachers who had taken his family, and he thought he had to become a coach. But then Don told him that it was not a coacher and was a poacher, and that his family will not come back. And Boris was actually very sad. But then the Nocturnals said that this game was actually very, very fun. But the tarantula and the kiwis very much not liked it because the beaks were all scratched and the tarantula had always been thrown and so they didn't like it. But the other Nocturnals really liked it and decided to play this game with rocks and sticks. So Boris was very happy that they were fun with his game. But the Nocturnal Brigade went back up to the surface with Bismark. Okay, today I introduced you the book, The Nocturnals, The Mysterious Abductions by Tracey Hecht. Bye-bye!